again, my research focuses on that civil law. I think that Chinese law really emphasizes mutual connection between people, and especially in the area of civil law, where I am, those mutual connections, those equal relations are so important. And so in 2020, with the reform of the civil law into a unified civil code, that was a really monumental moment. That's something that China's been wanting to do for 30 years and finally managed to get through in order to improve the lives of people and promote those equal relations among citizens. It's no secret that China has taken its approach to the rule of law and pulled from many different international influences and has then added its own uniquely Chinese twist onto the law. And I think so many Western commentators are hesitant to appreciate that, but there are so many lessons from Chinese culture, Chinese customs and society that, once applied to the law, actually make a lot of sense, and that I think the world can look to improve their own models for the rule of law.
And I think it's very interesting to see how China's development has actually maybe helped other countries in the world to follow either Chinese model or Chinese path. I think it's good to think about how China can bring lessons about how to develop economically very rapidly. I think China has really invested in bringing people out of poverty, and I think investing mostly in bringing people out of poverty, a more green economy, for example, I think those things we can learn from.
I think the way that China has embraced a lot of new innovation very quickly is very interesting. So for me, I come from France, which maybe we're very used to our ways. We pay with cash, or maybe we have to pay for a ticket when we want to get onto the train. Whereas in China, everything is digitalized. I think the rapid transformation of Chinese society and adaptation of Chinese consumers is something I find very interesting in China. China, I think, is impressive is that it's able to take a policy and apply it on a large scale. It's that adaptability which I think is really fantastic.
From one point, I can say that there are, of course, many opportunities for foreigners in China, because you've got so many projects for foreigners to study. Your education is pretty available, but at the same time, very high quality. When it comes to seeking a job, so there are so many companies in China that do business with foreigners, with companies abroad. So the demand for people outside the country is big.
This is largely why I wanted to come here. It's not because I studied China studies, but it's because I come here, and in my program we also have a lot of Chinese students. I think this for the future of the world, like young people who care about the world from China and outside China, meeting each other, becoming friends, talking about all sorts of subjects. I think this is a really, really good thing. I'm very grateful to this program for giving me this opportunity, and I think more of this sort of interaction between young people from both places is really good.
So I think the program I'm in now, the Future Teachers program here at Peking University, is a great opportunity and a great way to engage this cultural exchange, since we're bringing a bunch of students from the Netherlands and also from other countries in Europe to China to study here. And I think in the end, the most effective way to enhance this relationship between the two regions is for students to come here to experience China themselves, see how the country is, rather than hearing in the news or just reading online about it.
I mean, my own academic background is in physics. Personally, I do hope that this could be an area, really scientific research at the fundamental level, where also in these times we could still strengthen collaboration and especially strengthen exchange of people and of young people. I realized that myself trying to do an exchange in China at this time, and I hope that more of this can happen again now.
European cooperation with China is very, very crucial to Europe and to China. I think moving forward, we have to try to, let's say, have a more normalized ties. So I think we should attempt at creating more dialogue between both countries, both institutions, and also actually bring more student exchanges, actually more conference and meetings, actually people can contribute and evade misunderstandings, I think.
So I'll use an example of some research that I'm doing right now. I'm currently researching AI copyright issues. And this is a big issue all over the world because, of course, our current copyright and intellectual property frameworks aren't set up for generative AI. There has to be cooperation between China, the US and Europe, and I think the EU and China both have a mutual interest in codifying AI law and working together to ensure that privacy and security are of the utmost concern and of the utmost importance when crafting new AI laws. And I think the only way to do that is going to be through massive international, bilateral, multilateral efforts.
Study China, study Chinese, understand the country so that they can understand both the European and the Chinese side.
I would like to come back and work in China after I finish my degree in the UK. I hope to work maybe in an intergovernmental organization, so facilitating cooperation between China and other countries, but also working at a local level with Chinese companies and helping bring, for example, European practices and Chinese practices together and understanding what actually can be learnt from each party